Okay, greetings. We have Ned, Andrew, Adi, and Gary.
Greetings.
And who?
Kasavugo.
We have Chidoma.
Yeah, Chima Kasavugo.
You go by first name or last name?
The first name is Chidima Asavugo, the last name.
Greetings.
Yeah.
Okay, we've just been discussing the agenda. Is there anything else we want to add now? We have, Ned was interested in looking at how we do the Discord RNode log. That should be pretty quick. You might consider rholang, improvement. I don't know if today's the right day to do that, but we can look at how we do that as well. RNode as a service on RNode Bob. I think that's been requested a couple times. I think David wanted to do that. I'm interested in looking at the relstore.rho. I'm getting syntax errors. Wondering if anybody can help. David or someone is who's not here wanted to talk about the rholang office hours. Anything else we want to add?
No, for now.
Yeah, well, you can add stuff at any time. So let's look at okay, so we're I was in the middle of an update there, but hopefully I'll remember where I was. Okay, we're on the RChain shared account on rhobot.net. And we're in the home directory. We're going to the KYC bot, which doesn't do much know your customer stuff yet. Does the welcoming and stuff. And we can look at the server.log. I mean server.js. We can look at the we can see that I have included in here a tail require tail.tail. And this is a program that does the tail of a file. And I use that to look at the log. And I create a new tail on the rnode.log file.
How many rows does it read, or?
Good question. It continuously does the tail. So.
Gotcha. Oh, okay, I see that.
I'm not sure if it has a buffer limit or whatever. I didn't really look into it that much. So if we look down to do a /tail here in the VI, and we can see where I do a tail on function data, and I say that if the data matches syntax error or starts with an @ sign. These are the things in the log that we care about. either the errors or the outputs to the standard output, which always start with the net sign. Got that?
Yep, cool.
We
Refreshing to look at JavaScript.
so then we do we log it to the console log just for the heck of it here, and I say if current message is defined, then I reply to the current message, the data. This is what makes it show up in the channel. And if we look for, and then I do here a tail unwatch. So now it stops watching the tail. Okay. Tail on error. And I don't remember why I do this. And I'll show you the rest of it here. So in the so if the content matches an eval, somebody does an eval in the channel, then I start watching. I send a message evaluating. Then I turn on the watching the tail. So now any syntax error or any log output is going to get sent to this current message, which I define up above here. When just to show you. If I get a message on the client, the Discord client, I set the current message here to that message. So it knows which message to reply to because it's set globally. So if it's an eval, I start watching the tail. And currently we just simply we write the rholang to a file, and then we do a system exec of the rnode eval, and I create the file in /temp with the author's name.rho. And then I return the errors, and finally I do a tail unwatch so that it stops the evaluate, return, it's all done. I don't need to watch the log anymore. So it's not a perfect solution. If several people in several channels are typing evals, they could get mixed up. Does that answer your question? You thought maybe I was doing something fancier, Ned?
Yeah, no, I was. I I thought you had written some cool rholang code, but no, that's good. I like that. That's great.
Hello, Jim.
Hey, Valentine.
Hello, Jim. CBSoft.
CB. Hi.
Yeah.
Greetings.
Yeah. I have a quick question. Sorry, it's not about what we're doing right now, but it's about the interactive learning platform that was developed to actually foster the learning of rholang, for beginners. So I don't know. I'm on Discord now and I'm seeing some comments there. So I just want to have a clear direction. Is the project still valid or is it going to be stopped? You're mute.
Jamie, you're on mute.
Sorry. Yeah, I haven't gotten any more information on it. I can see there's some new comments in here. This was Patrick's response. I asked Patrick to give us a reason why the presentation that you guys developed couldn't be used for the course material. And, he sort of gave me this answer, which I said didn't really satisfy me, because how we present the courseware, in terms of a format with a video and discussion and a REPL, which is what you guys developed, is independent of what format we use for the lesson material. I mean, obviously, if they selected some format for the lesson material, we would have to support that. But as far as I know, they're going to be developing something from scratch.
Jim, can I add something to it? Can I say something? Yeah. Hello, can anybody hear me at all?
Yeah.
Very loud and clear. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I actually read Patrick's response to it, and to be honest, I think it's very flimsy. The structure is dynamic. The structure is dynamic, and saying that because you can't incorporate a Coursera type of platform in it is a very, very flimsy response to me. And that why I was so pissed, and I put the comment I put there, and I'm probably going to delete the whole repository, because it makes no sense that he's not giving a very viable, very, very good response why they should use theirs over ours. He's giving a very flimsy response, and I was also very, very, very settled with that as well.
So can I give, Jim, you're on mute again, but that's okay. So can I give you some, maybe some color to this that may help explain? So, when I was talking to you guys about this, the marketing group came in, led by Patrick and Encore, and they were a little not understanding of the project, and they felt that it was duplicating their own effort.
No, we weren't duplicating any effort. I mean, and
I get that 100%, but that's not how they saw it. And so let me finish, and this may help explain. So on one hand, they thought you were duplicating efforts for the material that they feel Joshy's worked on, and it already exists. Now, the co-op right now is in a money crunch, right? There's no extra funds. And since I don't have funding and the marketing does, this is all going under marketing, which is Patrick and Encore. This is all going under marketing.
Yeah.
And so that's one piece of it. And then the second piece, there's this guy, Brent. I met him at SF Blockchain. I can't remember his last name, but he was hired by the marketing group to do e-learning. And from what I understand, they're rolling out their e-learning in the next couple of weeks. And between Brent and a couple other folks, they have a lot of contacts in the e-learning world. I guess Encore knows folks at Pluralsight, Lynda, and some other big platforms. And so I think that was also part of it, that they have this guy, Brent, leading up e-learning. A lot of background noise, if somebody can mute.
Yeah.
Thank you. So anyway, that's what I think it is. I think it's one, marketing felt they already had the materials. Two, they have the money. And three, they have this other initiative that's about to come out for their own e-learning platform.
Yeah, and what I requested of he and Joshi was a reason from the developer of the new platform, which I understand has not been developed yet, why it wouldn't be useful to use the framework that we've already created rather than building something new.
I agree. I kind of thought they weren't building something new, but they were taking the materials and contracting with an already existing e-learning company, which means that that company has the platform and has the ability to do this at scale. So, I have to tell you, I wasn't really involved in any of those conversations. And I know when people found out I had been talking to you and David, et cetera, that they got really upset. And so that's kind of why I backed out. And plus, going back to the whole funding thing, they're the ones with the funds, not me. So, I've said this a few times, which is, if you really believe in your project, go ahead and do it without the funding, right? Start your own e-learning business, But I think a path forward inside the co-op, it doesn't seem like now that's viable.
Okay. I actually get your point, Ned. So that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. There could be other avenues, right? I was gonna say, maybe talk to some of the guys in RChain Asia, because there's a lot of interest there. But in talking to Jonathan, I don't think they have funding either. So, but maybe this is the time where you get entrepreneurial and get creative, and maybe reach out on Discord privately to some of the people and see if there's an appetite to fund it. But,
Patrick was talking about the website developer, Mark, somebody who was doing it.
Mark, I don't know a Mark.
He was. They talk about this website developer who's not on Discord. And now there's this Brent guy. Is he on Discord?
I don't know. He seems to be kind of well connected in the crypto space, but I just met him. Nice guy, but I haven't really.
Well, the idea is everybody would like, participation of the membership in the development of material, but it has to be coordinated, and we sort of need at least one person who has an inside track to what's going on with the e-learning that we can communicate with in order to coordinate with them. Otherwise, we're wasting our time. And on the one hand, they're saying, well, you guys didn't coordinate with us. And on the other hand, we have no information on what's being done, who's doing it, what's involved. It's almost impossible for us to get engaged unless we have some kind of communication path.
I agree. I'm kind of thinking about ways to get more responsive responses. more timely responses. I don't know, maybe emailing people directly or DMing them on Discord.
Okay, I'm Ned.
Yeah.
The the main problem I am actually having with the reboot to talk to for sponsorship. So I actually don't even know the guys to talk to for sponsorship. That's the problem.
I couldn't get most of that. You had cut out. So can you repeat that?
So I said the problem with the collab after this reboot is that I don't even know who to talk to for sponsorship of an issue.
I agree. I've kind of taken, sorry guys, but I've kind of taken a step back from looking at the bounty program because I'm not sure what the intention is now. And I don't know, honestly, I'm not even sure where the co-op is getting funds to pay for the bounty program. I know Meta has a pretty well-defined bounty program, but hers, I believe hers is paid from Pyrofex. I'm not sure exactly how that works.
Okay.
So yeah, so honestly, I just really haven't engaged much in that, sorry.
Okay, problem. That's cool.
Jim, hey Jim, you keep going on mute. We can't hear what you're saying.
Sorry. These are the people that have a vote. Now they are not necessarily sponsors, but they represent sponsors, and these are people that may be able to give you some direction. They'll tell you who to talk to. Just look under ratings in the bounding system, and those are the guys. So let's see. We have we had I invite everyone to type in the log. There was talk about doing rnode Bob, rnode as a service. I'm interested in that. I kind of want to, why don't we look at this quick and see if anybody can help me with it. That's okay, unless there's something burning. So the rel store, relational store is simply the KY value store that we saw last week, a week ago in Jordy's conference. Who was that? Did that Theo? Theo did this one. And I added a continuation to his put method because there's no way of telling when the put was complete. And in order to test it, I need to put something and see if I can get it back, and I need a way to know when it's done. So basically, he puts into the He gets the store out of there and then writes back the store, and in parallel he adds the key written, the value written to the key. So whatever key values are in the store, he just puts another key value in par with that. And so I added C, I just returned nil. I guess that's the reasonable thing to do here, or should I just call that ACK? Wait, continuation. I probably should have returned an error, huh? So return something meaningful here. Okay, here he's returning an error. Okay. I'm not sure what this was, but if you know, I forgot to put that in parallel also. So I came in parallel here. I can just see, right? I'm not sure what I should write here, but I'll just return the key if it succeeded. Okay, and I'll take this line out. Questions on this? We looked at this before, but now, so well, we had the get method.
Jim, are you still having that error from today's office hours session?
No, I think it's a little bit past there, but almost the same thing. So we can continue there.
Well, what error are you getting now?
I was a little bit in the midst here. Okay, so I have a lookup function here. Let me just fix this first, and then we'll see what error we get. Okay, that is okay. This is where I test it. I call and I do a put of a key value. Then I have a continuation, and I get the value and print the standard out. It looks correct to me. So let me write this, and I'm going to do rnode eval, and percent is the current file, and I get a syntax error.
Can we use a standard text editor so we could know exactly where the error is coming from?
I don't know what you mean. We got an error in line 9, column 17. So I must have made an error up here. Only 9. 7. Oops. $17 space. No, it doesn't help as much, huh? Oh, 2, 9, 20.
I think that's for a 9. A 9, 17, okay. So, let's see.
Yeah, I'm on line 918 down here at the bottom.
Right. So trying to recover and continue virtual inputs.
What did I do? How could I have broken this?
So you were cursively calling get
So
store.
which is line 9? How do you tell?
On the bottom, David, very bottom, it shows you, well,
We can set number.
okay. Also, on the very bottom, it tells you the
Right.
row and the column.
918.
But line numbers is good.
So I didn't make any changes here. I don't know how there could possibly be an error here. Syntax error.
Hmm.
917.
I don't think the error is in line 9. Line 9 looks quite fine.
And it's interesting because I mean wasn't getting any error until I just moved this line up here from down here. That's the only change I made.
So on line 7, Jim,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, so you're calling get store and passing in nil. And then,
That's
and then
the this creating an empty store.
right. And then line 7, you start with a bang. So you're doing these in parallel.
Right.
So spanning
Get export Mongo. I'm wondering if I took out something that was necessary.
Why do you have this in curly braces? On line 7, yeah. Why do you have the curly braces there?
I didn't.
And
I didn't do that.
you didn't what?
I didn't do that. This is a process. A process can have curly braces, right?
No, my point is, what the function? What's the function of the curly braces there?
I don't know that they're necessary, but
Because I think plus would
plus
work.
star this without the braces. But the
Yeah,
braces, you know, it's still a process, in curly braces or not.
okay, but we're missing a parallel sign and on line 8.
Oh, that's the problem.
oh, that's a good catch.
I don't know how I lost that.
Yeah, it's always best to do a par at the end of every send and every receive.
Hmm.
Personally, is
Yeah. Well, this was originally the style of having the par at the beginning of every line. So technically, it would be this. And this whole thing is indented wrong, it looks like. Which would be better to fix in oops. Well, at least now we're down to 93 again.
Usually, something from my experience, if you're having an error on a line, the error is not on that line, it's above the line. So if the error is on line 93, it means that the error is above, that's before line 93.
That hasn't been the case for me, but in this case, I think we have an issue with the parentheses here.
Is my store a name or a process?
My store, is a name. Wait.
Then if it's a name, then on 93, it should be quoted with an asterisk, not an at.
Oh. Okay. My store is a channel, which is a name, right? Wait.
Sorry, I think I lost you. You said?
Okay, my store is my store is returned.
Yeah, it should be returned as a process, right? That is, it should be asterisk, not at. That should be in front.
So
no, my point is it should be, and there should be an asterisk there. If you're saying is a name, then we have to turn it into a process. And in turning it into a process, we need an asterisk.
why wouldn't it already be a process? I don't understand that.
Okay, that's why I was asking where.
Okay, so now I got an error on 101.
Where did you?
I'm just going to delete this. Try it again. Equal key is unbound. Oh no. Okay, well, apparently I broke this process.
Hey, Jim, I see a lot of variables of store. I see get store, I see my store, I see a store. Is it all accounted for?
Maybe a code walkthrough will be necessary for everyone to have a proper understanding.
Yeah, I think I broke this. I broke this quite a bit. Got confused as to where I was here. Let me. maybe we should start over. As far as I understand, the key value store was working, although I didn't really verify it. So if I edit key value store .row, okay, I can see that this looks like I munged this one too. Yeah, let's if you want to do it, we'll go through it. Or do we want to go on to something else?
Wait, do you have, are there two different contracts you have here?
Yeah, there's a key value store, and it looks like I screwed that one up too. But that was the one from Theo that we went over in Jordy's meeting. And what I did was I added the lookup method to it.
And so this would allow the program to find a key based on giving it a value.
Correct. So this was the original program. And I believe the only thing I did to it certainly does look different.
I'm wondering if the cost of this lookup.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing when, you know, I wanted to compare this with using a map.
Yeah.
You see, in terms of the cost, and see how it came out different. But I wanted to make it relational by being able to have content addressable. And so in addition to this put method here, I wanted to put in a lookup method. Oh, look at that. Copied the numbers. Weird.
You must have been copying not in the editor you thought you were in.
Yeah.
More like a screen copy than a text editor copy.
Why is it? I don't know why it's doing here. Let me just start over. Get that out again. Colon. So how do I turn these numbers off?
I'll do a search.
I got it.
Okay.
No number. Okay, so then we just take this lookup function, and I got one space missing. And then we do a colon E pound, open and paste, escape. Okay, so let's see, and I'll go to the end here. Okay, this was stuff I add. I don't know if I added it. I think I added this. I don't know if that'll break anything. Got the same thing. Variable reference equal key at 1127 is unbound. And in this case, it is on line 12 here.
I don't get what you using at equal to an asterisk.
Well, this is this shows the code that we saw working. As far as I know, we have the equal. You're saying key. What is
Sure.
key? Key
I was
is
saying, why do you have asterisks at an equal to?
Well, that has to do with how it's matching.
I mean, we can try taking it out, but that's modifying the code that was working. I don't know why it would do an error now. The only other thing I can think of is that this could have had an at here. I don't know why I would have changed it. still equal key is unbound. Now, as I understand it, the equal sign here forces it to be bound to the variable. So let's delete this one. Yeah, still unbound. So the thing to do here, I guess, is to look back at the original code to see how I screwed it up. And it's here. And it sure does look exactly the same. So we just take this code, T, we just call it new.row. And paste it in, escape, colon, right, colon, bang, bang. Oops, still evaluating from row store. I thought I did a colon, bang. Oh, I see it. It expanded the file name when it saved the command. Our node eval percent is the current file, and it runs.
So you just copy pasted this code.
Okay, yeah, I just copy pasted this code from the repo, and it runs. So
Slowly start adding the code back in and test it as you go.
So somehow adding this contract here caused us to get an error up here on P. So I don't understand. This key got bound here. It should be bound outside the braces.
Did we put that contract in at the wrong level?
I don't think so. I mean, we can always take this contract again.
I'd like to see you get that code working and then start adding stuff back into it.
Yeah, we could do a test program now. Okay, I'm not sure. So this is the new. This is the contract. to set auto indent. I also want to set the tabs to 3. I'm not going to look that up right now. So in par, we want to invoke the contract, which is KV store. We want to write to the contract. And I think it just takes a continuation, right? Yeah. And that continuation is actually the empty it's a different C, that's a different C. Okay, so here's where he finally returns the C. And I think I may have deleted those lines. That could have been my problem. So now I want to listen for C, right? For my store C. I want to do, let me see if I can do a OSSE tabs. Equal 4. Nope. I did that. It looks like it's doing okay. Mixing tabs. Yeah. So when I receive my store, the first thing I want to do is I want to do a put to it, right? So I want to do a my store. Oh, I have to do I have to send in a list with my store and put operation. Okay, so that should invoke the put contract within the store. And I'm going to send that a a key, quote, and quote, a value. Okay, and I'm going to have a little bit of trouble testing this, I think. Because, let me just finish this. If we look at put, okay, it has key value and it has a continuation. Very good. Okay, so it has a continuation here. Now I don't have to read that continuation, right? I can just put it right here.
Where is this? Where is this contract stored?
I don't know what you mean. Where is it stored? I mean, we got it off of GitHub.
Like where can I access? Where can I access it? That's what I meant. Just on rhobot.net.
Actually, it does a new at the beginning, so it never. You can't.
No, my point is, where do I get this file? The whole file? Is it just on rhobot.net?
The file in its current state is on rhobot.net in RChain's home. The file we got it from is here in GitHub, right?
Yeah, this is the. I was talking about your own code.
Right. The code that we're writing right now is in the home directory of RChain on rhobot.net. Okay, so so when we get it back, we want to do a get, right? Actually, we want to do a get, and so we're going to do a my store, comma, get we're going to send it a value. Just one. A value, and it should have a continuation. Does it have a continuation? It must have a continuation. Okay, and we're going to send that to standard out. And then we're going to end that continuation, and this should test it, right?
If you standard out, isn't that supposed to be a name? Isn't standard out a name?
It should be standard out. It should be new. It's not here.
You wrote a one instead of the backward slash, the backward quotes. You wrote one at the beginning. You're writing one.
Yeah, I see that. Thank you. And I wrote another one back here. Okay, so now let's just look at get. Get has a key and a continuation. Okay, very good. Okay, so and I do this again. I'm getting a value here, which is wrong. I want to get a key. The lookup method that we're adding is the one that gets it by value. Um, so what is C exactly? C is a process. That's what we
Yeah.
want.
If C is a process, so yes, we want that to be quoted.
We want an @ sign.
Yeah. Then also standard out, we want an asterisk as standard out. You're not in insert mode. How do you check full lines? Okay. Oh, if you look at line 87, you would see that C is a name there. So it means we have to quote using an asterisk on line 93, then remove the @ sign on line 94.
Okay, so C is a name.
Then take out the @ sign in line 94.
Boy, is that, I don't know why that's so hard. But even Jordy makes mistakes with it. Pre-variable C is used twice as a binder. 93, 94 in name context. I see. I didn't do a new C. I never did a new C. Probably, we got C's all over the place, but they're always inside. Variable name MyStore. Name variable MyStore used in a process context, 95. Of course, this needs to be a process. I should have, that one I should have known. As this one. Okay, because this is a list. And it should contain processes. Yeah. Contains values, which are processes. Top level free variables are not allowed. AD stored 93. So what do I need? What do I need below? I'm not sure. What? That's an old error. Huh? Name variable C at 1.5 used in process context at 9316. Okay, so it wants, so this should be at here. I took off the at because for the other error, the problem was we never created C, we never made it new. Top level free variables. I made the name C. And I mean, I could just try that sign here because I don't know what I'm doing. and get an unrecoverable syntax error. So, I'm wondering how we call this function. And apparently, we need some more expertise here. I mean, I would expect that I have a name. I made a new name. I want to make it a process. So I would do that. And then a complaints top level variable, right?
Error. Wow. Oh,
93.7.
not allowed.
And if I take this off, I get the same thing, right? I get the name variable C is used in a process context. Oh, at 93.16. Duh.
Wow.
I was reading the 94.25. Ninety-four, 20, 95, 94.25, 0, 25 space. Okay, I want to process. And I can't do it at C. So I guess we're stuck. David. Looks like we're oops. Yeah, we're the only ones left.
Exactly clear as to what you want.
I couldn't really hear you there. I mean, what's not clear?
What exactly are you trying to work on?
I'm trying to demonstrate the key value store. I put in a key and then I get it back.
Okay, so okay.
Okay, so basically what I was going to do is do a whole bunch of these operations using this contract, which which doesn't use the map, and then take a map contract and compare it. You can compare the deploy cost. You know, I guess we can't really compare the compute time, but we can compare the deploy cost. Um, this 9424. Doesn't like this. Now it could be that I need to put a equal sign in here. And that doesn't help. So I'm thinking maybe this contract doesn't work. I don't know.
Sorry, I didn't get that. You said?
No, I'm thinking that the contract may not. I don't know that this contract works. It's exporting a write-only interface. It's writing nil to get score, which is the empty list. Where does this get its value? Oh, here, export, get export, right, Mongo plus this. I don't see where he writes to this. Okay, so here, it doesn't get export. Mongo plus this. So what, I don't see anything writing to this.
You said? You say?
There's not, how does this get any value? This doesn't get in, there's no way that this gets a value. Okay, so what he's doing here is he's creating a write-only value for this. But what is this? Well, he doesn't get store of this. He doesn't get store. He writes to get store and no. He reads get store into store. I think this program is just wrong. Here he writes to get store, to store. So he writes to get store all over here. He reads from get store. He writes to get store. Is this a reserved word?
Which?
This.
Okay, I've not seen a reserved word in rholang. Does rholang have reserved words?
Yeah.
Do you have an example?
I think contract is a reserved word. At least somebody said so. It doesn't mean it's so. Should read manual, huh? RTFM. But I don't see any place here where this gets a value. It looks like, to me, like BitStore. This is the contract. This is the contract. It's KV store. Okay, KV store. Is the contract. So if I do a of course, that doesn't answer the error we're having now. Although I don't see how this could work. I think if we changed all the occurrences of this to KV store, it would work. Because down here, it wants a where it says this. I think he means KV store. But we're going to get the same error down below. And I guess it doesn't hurt to make a new this. We don't use it, does it? We delete it. And just to make sure you get the same error. Then we'll see if we can get rid of the error on 93. Does it make sense to you what I did? Oh, he's gone. Hey.
Yeah.
Line 7, column 35. Does this make sense to you what I'm doing?
The whole part.
I don't understand why this isn't going anywhere. Up 3. How did I miss one? Do you understand why I'm putting TV store here?
No.
The contract itself is what we want. The contract is KV store. So what we're doing is we're sending a write-only address to the contract. He was sending this there, and this was never assigned a value. Right?
Okay.
So I changed this to KV store so we could get the address of the contract. So, name variable C used in process context 9316. I don't know why it doesn't, what this is. 93. Oh, I hit control. So this is, so now we're back to this whole. We have asterisks. And then whoops. $93.7. What did I do wrong here? How come it's complaining about that now? Percent. Standard conference. KV store is new. How could it be? How could it start complaining about that? It doesn't make any sense. The contract KV store. So we're reading from KV store. Now we're writing to KV store. How could that be an error? So in parallel with defining the conference contract, we're writing KV. Oh, I see the problem. This should be uppercase. Do they have any more of those? That's weird. How did that get changed? We didn't have that problem before. Whoa, it ran.
Finally.
Holy mackerel. It didn't. Looks like it didn't output anything.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of things we're missing out here.
Hey Jim, what's going on?
Hey, Jeremy, what's up?
Nada. Finally got caught up with most of the staff work wise, so I'll just drop on in, say hi.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. We were trying to get this key value process from Theo working. I don't know if you're interested in helping out with that.
Where do you put the code up? Is it on the Discord?
Well, we got the code from GitHub originally here, and there were certain issues. I can put the current code in Discord if you want.
It doesn't matter. You can just send it through the chat or Discord.
Yeah. Now the original code there, you see, he uses this as the contract address.
Mm-hmm.
But nowhere does he write to this, and we were wondering if this was a reserved word or something.
I think let me see. Contract.
So Want me to go through this quickly, or what do you want to do?
Oh yeah, if you don't mind.
So we create a new contract KV store, and basically wherever you had this, I put KV store because that's the contract address, right?
Mm-hmm.
What he does here is he initializes get store to be nothing. Now I'm not sure kind of, I guess it's the empty process, right? I mean, there's nothing in there yet. I guess that's nil. Is nil something or nothing? In any case, there's a nil there. Okay, and then within the contract, he defines a contract with an address of the contract I put here. Okay, now I guess I could be wrong. We wanted the bungle here. Somehow this bungle should have become this, or this should have been read into get export or something. Get export is actually the what's exported. So technically this should be Bungo plus KV store, right?
Oh, I wonder, because I'm like, as I'm going through it, you see contract, this, and then patch.
Yeah.
What, I wonder, let's see here, contract.
Oh, KV store isn't right either. That's wrong. Yeah, I got this wrong. We don't want the contract address. We want the store. I'm confused now. The KV store would only give us one. If I put KV store here,
Jim, you're not sharing your screen.
if I put KV store here, that gives us only one storage, which is wrong. Okay, we created an empty store here. So what we want is the name of get store, right? Okay, so we want to export the name of the contract. No, not the name of the contract. Right? Working on two different things here. Confusing. So So how do I get the name of the get store in here? Can I do this?
You're not sharing your screen.
I'm not? Oh. Okay, he had this, he had this there. But we want, okay, we're creating the store. And we want, and get store, it contains the store. So we want to pass the name of the get store. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
This is, okay, I'm gonna write this and see what happens. Our node eval percent. Variable name get store at 313 used in a process context. $7.36. Well, didn't I make a process out of it?
Let's see. Do you want to take out? Let's see. New get store.
If I
Yeah, take out the.
take out the app,
Yeah. Although it wouldn't make.
I don't want it. I don't want the. I don't want the contents of get store. I want the name of it. Who'd we lose? David, I assume. Okay. Interesting. Did something. No output. So we got an unforgeable name. Put. Shall we assume that this is correct? More or less. Let's add some more debugging here. I wonder if it ever it ever gets back for the key store. Oh. Put that in the wrong place. Oh. Okay, so it never got a continuation. I think I can assume since it didn't output anything. Let's just look if there's anything on the log here. Whoa, we did get something. Sorry. We got an unforgeable name. Yippee. That's what I wanted to get. So I don't know if it's the right unforgeable name.
It should tell you in the when you run in the node. So just copy that unforgeable name and then go back under your node and try to find it. And it should be stored in the storage content, I think.
So EVA we're looking for.
Yeah, do a can you do a find in your terminal? Control F.
I don't think so. No.
Mm.
I might be able to do a find here. Doesn't look like.
Nope.
Okay, I can certainly put this out to a file.
So I'm seeing unforgeable name.
Now, is there, now that we have this unforgeable name, we got it. It's supposed to be the unforgeable name of the contract. Now, oops. Okay, so we have the contract KV store. Okay, it has does a new get store, which is the unforgeable name. No, actually, we want this export, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have. Let's see what it's writing to C here. For export, it reads get export. And it writes export to C.
Wait, make that, so it's listening for a process, which is export, right?
Right.
So instead of just sending export, put a star there, just send it. So where you see exclamation point export or export, what would it look like if we just put a star there and try to run it?
Put a star export.
Uh-huh.
Something like that.
Hmm.
But, you know, in terms of the logic here, this export is really what it's supposed to be using. For this contract. And I should sort of don't understand why this isn't in a list. In fact, when I called it in a list. Oh. Yeah, these are not in lists. I've only seen this work with lists.
Hmm.
These are not lists. So the contract turns into a name process comma process. Okay, I thought those were lists. You can see I made them lists here. Okay, I still only got the one output.
Hmm.
Oh, why do I have star C here?
Wait, Jim, I'll be right back. Give me a second. Sorry. All right.
Now I got a bundle. Okay, I was putting C, which is just a local variable, rather than my store, which is a bundle. Now, so I got the bundle here, and I called my store. Now, what's probably going on here is that the bundle, the get store is not the bundle.
Mm-hmm. So, can you explain to me? So, let's just take that contract right there. So, you're trying to unquote a quoted process right there with the at and then the star.
Where?
Right there that you have highlighted, where you have contract at or parentheses star get store right there. I forgot. So that was that whole like process where the at sign and then the star. You're unquoting a quoted process, or
I'm making a name out of it.
you're making a name at it.
Okay. Yeah. It's the name. So the name of the contract now has. I've always used brackets before when I tried to do this. I haven't used parentheses.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not too sure what it does when you put the comma here. It's a pattern. It's a process still. Process comma process is a process.
Mm-hmm.
What it does. Okay, so what I want here is not get store. It's this value bundle plus get store.
What's this plus do in this situation?
It makes it write only. It's so that
Makes it what?
it makes it write only. Makes it a write only contract. You can't read from that address. You can't read from get store comma put. You can only write to it.
Hmm.
Okay. If I down here, I'm trying to write to it, right? I write a put and I write a get.
Mhm.
If I did a read from it, it would override the contract. So the bungle makes it write only so that I can't override the contract. And if I were to override the contract, I would have 2 copies of it out there and I wouldn't know which one it ran.
Gotcha.
Um,
So actually, can I share my screen real quick to show you something I'm kind of working on, but trying to figure out?
Sure.
Sorry, I didn't mean. Where's CryptoFix? I was kind of just playing around with this contract. So what I want to do is make a contract with Arena, and it takes the referee, obviously. And so,
give me 1 second.
Okay.
I would. I had. Right. Something. Okay. Got that saved. I'm sorry.
you're good.
Just didn't want to leave it part done. Because I never remember where I left off. Okay, so we have a new contract, which is going to have a public name, which you're not going to be able to do for very long.
So what I'm trying to do is actually several things. So one, I want the referee to obviously be the ref, and so the objective is to see where or who gets the foul. So when you call it, so when you process all this, for player 1 to say, okay, I'm starting. So obviously when they kick the ball, it listens to the message, and then this is how I wanted to track where the foul happens. So if the foul happens after, then obviously it'll print that so far I'm good. While if the referee says, or if the variable is true, then it's a player 1 foul.
Okay. If the refer, what does that do when you say just if refer? If it's
So
you know,
that's following me. So I just want this to be
not a Boolean, right?
although it could be.
I mean, you can test to see if the refer is equal to foul. If the refer equal foul, that's better.
I think I've already tried this, but
So we haven't sent a message to player 2, so it's not going to read that. Oh, player 2 message. Sends a message display true. Okay, never mind. Now you're missing a vertical bar, the par before the 4.
I have it. It's right here.
Oh, okay. Uh,
I'm just gonna write it.
well, you need the word in on line 1 before the bracket.
Oh.
I hate that when it doesn't give you the line numbers.
Yeah, same here.
I thought I was starting to get line numbers on mine. I don't know what the difference is.
Here, I'm gonna send this in the.
You're running on what platform?
Well, I haven't. Oh, I could just probably run this on Arno 7. Wonder if this will work.
Yeah. Well, the problem is finding the syntax error. Are you what kind of machine are you on?
I'm on a Mac.
You're on a Mac. Can you open the file in VI?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do now. In 1 second.
Or Vim? Yeah, Vim, right?
Yeah, I'm in another terminal window. Give me 1 sec. CD rolling. All right. Yeah.
So if you just do 259 space, it should take you there.
All right. Do that. WQ. Oh, oops. I only have it sharing on one screen. Give me 1 second. Get all this stuff out the way. All right.
Oh, if you can just VI the file, we can do it. I guess you can run it.
Oh, yeah, that's what I did. Yeah.
If you go to the top, one go, and then just do a 259 space, it will show us where the error is.
What is it? You said 259 spaces?
In VI. Do 1 capital G and then 259 space.
2, 1. There.
Do one capital G. You want to go to the top.
Oh, that's what I just did.
It looks like your cursor's at the bottom. One capital G. There you go. Yeah, don't scroll when you're in VI. It's a mess. Okay, now do a 259 space. Okay, so this is where your syntax error is. About.
Oh, I didn't do a bang.
Great bang, yeah.
All right, let's see here. Right. How to get out of this? Oh wait, never mind. There we go.
Yeah, if you do a :E bang, it'll read it again.
The colon. I saw you do this earlier.
What are you trying to do now? Did you run this again? If you change, no, if you fix it in CryptoFX and save it, you can just stay in VI.
Well, this is on the virtual machine, so it's not directly on my laptop. So what I did was I just copy and pasted it from the CryptoFX and put it on the AWS node. Yeah.
So you're going to do a deploy. I mean a eval.
Yeah.
Is there a reason you don't run native on the Mac?
Actually need help setting that up. Actually, I know I can. I just need to actually talk to Josh or someone in the CoLab to see if they can help me out with that.
Yeah, does your camera work?
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Let's see.
So much communication is subliminal, and you need high bandwidth and low bandwidth in order to have a collective intelligence. Some people say you need face-to-face. It won't work without face-to-face.
Oh yeah,
that's
totally.
That's been the experience of Inspiral. It's, in hundreds of organizations they've studied that without the face-to-face component, you don't get cooperation at scale. You don't get collective intelligence. There's counterexamples to it, but in this communities that have been studied, they haven't found them. If it emerges without it, it's a very rare thing.
So here I'm gonna go back to CryptoFX. Yeah. All right, so I pretty much incorporated everything that we already did. So we got the end, refer equals file. equals foul, and I put the bang. That's what I got.
Did you run it again? 277, I think, is a different place. No, I was just saying, if you keep it open on your Mac in Vim, you could always do a 277 bang and see where the error is.
Mm-hmm. So
277 should be, well, what was the other one? 54. Not too far past where we were.
actually, I'm just going to share my whole desktop because that'll make this a lot easier. Yeah, second.
Did you do any, what happened with the eval? Did you do the eval?
All right. You see this now with the terminal?
Yeah. So you just quit this. This has the update in it, right? So just quit this and do it and do an R node eval.
All right. Actually.
Okay. We don't see the error in the log here. It's up at the top of the screen. It just went off the screen.
There it is. 1039. Here it is.
1039. Okay. VI. Or you can look at the other screen. Uh, 10 capital G. Or you can do a :SE number if you want to see the numbers.
Like the pound for number?
SE space the word number.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that. All right, so we got it on 10.
Yeah, it shows you at the bottom what it is. So print bang, player foul. What's the nil doing there?
So I think I really put that in like with it just bang then do nothing. Just so we can just end it.
Well, I think I think that I don't know. You would need if you wanted to do a nothing in parallel, you could do that. But just having a nothing there is.
So I should probably get rid of the nil.
Get rid of the nils.
All right. Hey, Jim, I have to go real quick because they're kicking us out of here. So I'm in this and probably come right back. So be around.
Could be.
All right. I'll hit you a quick message when I come back.
Yeah, you can always look in the room, and if I'm not in the chair, just say, "Hey, Jim, are you around?"
All right. Sounds good, man.
Later.
All right.
Oh, yeah, we're recording still. All right.